Hey, how are you guys doing? Welcome to another episode of Fridays Are for Friends. I'm here with an incredible musician and artist, Sammy Hanson. You've been playing jazz piano for 18 years. What first drew you to the piano and jazz specifically?
So I was kind of, as a child, just put into it, by my parents. A lot of parents do it, but I don't know, it really spoke to me, and I just kept doing it. I tried saxophone, guitar, cello, but I don't know, none of them really stuck like piano. And with jazz specifically, I think I was like in the right headspace to do it, just because whenever I was in my lessons, we would be reading sheet music and I'd always be changing stuff, and the teacher's like, that's not on the page. I'm like, but that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
But it sounds better. And she's like, and then she's like, yeah, you should be a jazz pianist. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, perfect. So I guess like going from that type of formal education to also studying at Florida State, how did that shape you even more as a jazz musician?
So I essentially was self-taught after middle school until college, because there was just no like jazz education at all, like where I grew up, and at least for piano, right? So when I got into college, it was like a really big deal, because finally I had like a teacher who was actually, pushing me and teaching me new things, and a lot of conceptual things, really, more than like obviously technique, but just also being put in situations with a bunch of musicians, which are now my great friends, and playing all types of genres and all types of different gigs really prepared me well for like the real world, actually. And I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, that's amazing. And with you playing jazz piano for 18 years, what does practice look like to you now?
It's pretty different on any given day. I like, actually right now I'm really focusing on technique. I recently broke my right wrist in January, and I'm getting my chops back, every day. Just like, if it doesn't feel good, it's not going to sound good, and that's what one of my teachers always told me. And as long as I am just calm, really focus on like literally the descent of the key from the top to the bottom. You have to feel that even when you're playing fast. And that's like such a micro skill that is so important for everything. So that's like what I'm focusing on right now. Just like getting my dexterity back, and I feel pretty good now. It's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And when you're preparing for like a show, how much, I guess, are you preparing to like say, this is exactly what I'm going to play? And then how much is improvised? Right.
So very little is prepared. at least for me. If I have control over, the set, then I'll have like, okay, I want to play these songs, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. And that's part of the fun for me, is I make sure I surround myself with people who also think the same way, because I think part of the fun of jazz is that it's unpredictable. And it's different every time, and that's exciting. It's really exciting. And I think people in the audience can feel that. They may not literally understand what's happening, but it's like it's a feeling I think you get, and I prefer that than like, really forcing myself to like do the same thing, and teach people like, oh, you have to do it this way. I'd rather them speak the way they want to, want to do it. I think that's part of it.
Yeah, I totally understand. And I guess like when you are performing, or from all the performances that you have done in the past, what has been like your standout performance? Because I know when I first saw you was when you actually played here at Fabric, and I think Moonlark brought you on first, and you came up with your glasses. I was like, nah, this sounds fire. And then you went crazy. Is that one of your favorite performances, or do you also have like others that it's like, okay, this is one that defines me as an artist, or one that really makes you stand out?
The Fabric show with Moonlark was great. It was like electric. I had no idea that many people were going to show up. That was like the most amount of people I've seen for Fabric in a minute. So that was awesome, because we all moved from Florida and like we're kind of like getting our footing here as a band, and that was just really special to see. Like it was sold out, I think.
That was
crazy. Yeah, so that was really cool, and we had the grand piano on stage. I love that, and it feels so much better, and like I don't know, it's just magical. We were all like so locked in that one, so that was pretty dope.
Yeah. And what's or who is a non-jazz artist that inspires you secretly?
So this may not be a surprise, but I literally only listen to jazz. It's like, yeah, I mean, I just love it. I barely listen to any lyrical music or any pop music. Like I feel like I live under a rock in that sense.
Yeah.
Like sure, I play gigs where like I learn the songs and all that, but I really prefer the instrumental music. It makes me think harder, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, this may be cheating, but I do get influences from Debussy, Ravel, Stravinsky, great classical composers, pianists. So I'm able to take what they're doing and apply it in jazz settings. I think a lot of people forget or maybe aren't aware yet that all pop music is derived from jazz, and all jazz is derived from classical and other genres, different cultures, Caribbean, African, European, like South American, everywhere. So I think people should study the lineage of the music, and you'll find some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like everyone that's sampling someone is sampling some, like the 90s stuff. That's all sampled from jazz tracks.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of the 90s rap samples, like Ron Carter on bass, and just there's a lot of cool history if you look into it. But yeah.
Oh, that's sick. Well, I'm excited for people to hear your music and come watch you perform. Where can they find you?
Yes, I'm on Instagram at @VanHanson_. That's me. I also am on Spotify, Apple Music, all the other platforms. That would be under Sammy Hanson. And I do have music out. Please give it a listen. That'd be awesome. I have a solo album. I have an album with a saxophone player. I have live albums. But yeah, take a listen. Thank you.
Well, amazing. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us and being a part of the show. And thank you to the audience for tuning in to another episode of Fridays Are for Friends. Peace.
See you soon.